It's time to celebrate the positive, the good.
It definitely encouraged me to feel better and be happier, just to see the sunshine and everything.
The heartwarming.
We're really fortunate to be able to have these to give to them and make their visit more comfortable.
And the uplifting.
I think all these people are going to have a very successful year. They're going to dive into their fears and just do it.
Stories that make Northeast Wisconsin a great place to live. We welcome you to this Local 5 special presentation of Positively Wisconsin, presented by Renewal by Anderson.
Hello and welcome to Local 5's Positively Wisconsin special, our first of 2025. I'm Jade Henschel.
I'm Jordan Lamers. This is our chance to give a look back at some of the great things that have happened in just a few months right here in our community.
Let's start by taking it all the way back to New Year's Day. The chilly winter temperatures did not stop some in Door County from joining in the annual polar bear plunge.
Hundreds jumped into Lake Michigan to start off a new year with a shock to the system, and Local 5's Daniel Schuster was there.
Hundreds of people gathered around the beach of Lake Michigan for the annual Jacksonport Polar Plunge.
Going in by myself the first few years, it was more just mentally like, let's do this. Now with friends and family and my children and my wife, there's such much more of a group energy that kind of helps carry you in.
Since 1986, thousands of participants have come to the Jacksonport Polar Plunge to face the new year with a little discomfort.
I don't even really think about the water. I know it's going to be cold. It's always cold. Whether it's 33 degrees or 50 degrees, it feels cold. But it's cold only for a little bit.
For Sean from California, the plunge was not something he saw coming.
I had no choice. This was a surprise. My friend has subjected me to this torture, and I am just going to do it. It's January 1st, new year, and you got to do things that scare you. So,
with a little determination and encouragement from fellow plungers, he faced his fears.
This is awesome. I mean, I think more people need to do a polar plunge. I think people need to do a polar plunge. They need to jump out of an airplane. They need to tackle some fears in life, because on the other side of fear is bliss. You should absolutely do it.
In Jacksonport, Daniel Schuster, Local 5 News.
Thanks, Daniel. If you're wondering, the water in Lake Michigan on New Year's Day was 33 degrees.
And then at the end of January, record-breaking temperatures sent people dashing out the door to do some activities that would normally have to wait until the springtime.
Local 5's Paul Stino shows us how Wisconsinites took full advantage of the very spring-like day.
There's lots to smile about when it's over 50 degrees in January and you get to spend the afternoon at the Pamperin Park playground. Just ask Aldo Barajas and his daughter Anya.
It's very special because she loves the park.
The mercury rising all the way to 53 degrees in Green Bay Thursday, a new record for January 30th and the third warmest January day on record in Green Bay.
We're supposed to go to the library, but then we saw the nice weather that we have and we decided to come here.
All over Northeast Wisconsin, people grabbing their skateboards, bicycles, and running shoes and heading outside to enjoy the weather. Katie Gillett and Riley Cordier decided to go for a walk at Pamperin Park.
It definitely encouraged me to feel better and be happier, just to see the sunshine and everything.
On their walk, these two dodging frisbee golf discs. The frisbee golf players also out in full force, enjoying the day.
When it feels like summer out, you feel like you have to.
Feeling like summer, or at least spring, for one day. But seasoned Midwesterners know what's likely coming.
I definitely think there's a teaser here. I think we're going to have some colder weather and probably some more snow here coming up.
What's it going to feel like when it's probably 20 this weekend?
Well, it'll be nice to look back at this moment here that we got to sit out in the sun and, catch some good rays, and it'll make those, colder days a little bit easier on us.
In Green Bay, Paul Stino, Local 5 News.
Coming up, what would you do if your community had no place to take lost animals?
If you're an animal lover in Kewaunee County, we'll show you a way to change that. Stay with us. It's when we return.
Welcome back to our first Positively Wisconsin special of 2025. Over in Kewaunee County, a group of animal lovers have banded together to make sure lost pets have a place to go.
Local 5's Samantha Petters introduces us to those who saw a need in the community.
Kewaunee County never before had anywhere to take unsheltered animals. A group of women recognized the need and got to work to change that.
They could bring it to Humane Society, but that facility wasn't contractually obligated to take the animal. They didn't have a contract, and if they were at capacity, they could turn you away and say, unfortunately, we don't have space for it.
So A Cause for Paws partnered with the city of Algoma to make a difference, one paw at a time.
This organization came to us with a plan. They knew what they wanted. They had it all figured out. It was very easy on our part. It was almost a head nod.
A Cause for Paws presented the city with the check for funding the first year of the contract with Wisconsin Humane Society.
Citizens can bring them to Brown County or Green Bay, or excuse me, Door County or Green Bay locations. And they were found in Algoma, and now they have that contractual obligation to take them in.
Fundraising has been a big part of making this possible, but Charles says there's still more work to be done to go beyond the city of Algoma.
We are still so in the beginning stages. We want to help the animals. We want to do what we can, and we love our county.
In Algoma, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News.
Thanks, Samantha. Now let's rewind back to January. Notre Dame Academy had a special commitment celebration for all-state tight end James Flanagan. James already had signed his letter of intent to go to the University of Notre Dame, but with the holidays and their state championship, they were not able to celebrate. At the ceremony, James was also surprised with an invitation to the Navy All-American Bowl game, which is a best of the best of high school football players.
All the people here is what really makes it special and what's really rubbed off on me, helped me achieve success. So it's, I'll always just remember these great people in my life.
And the bowl game was in San Antonio on January 11th.
Keeping with the sports theme, the Green Bay Gamblers hockey team gave some comfort to pediatric patients in February. The Gamblers had their annual teddy bear toss on February 8th, inviting fans to bring their own stuffed animals to throw onto the ice, and the game netted more than 6,000 toys. A few days later, we saw where those stuffed animals ended up. It was in the arms of kids at Aurora Baycare who may be nervous about a procedure or appointment.
We're really fortunate to be able to have these teddy bears to give to them and make their visit more comfortable.
It's definitely really cool, and not a lot of guys our age get to experience something like this, so I'd say it's once in a lifetime opportunity, and it's really fun.
Since its beginning, the Teddy Bear Toss has donated more than 100,000 toys for kids here in Northeast Wisconsin.
Coming up, it's not every day that Hollywood puts a spotlight on Northeast Wisconsin.
But one recently released flick was actually shot in Door County. Take a look after the break. Welcome back to our first Positively Wisconsin special of 2025. The Hollywood Experience came to Lambeau Field at the beginning of the year.
Hundreds of people in early January celebrated the new film that features Wisconsin dairy farmers and the Green Bay Packers. It's called Green and Gold, and it features stars like Craig T. Nelson and Charlie Behrens, and it was shot in Door County.
The essence of neighborly love that exists up here, we want the rest of the world to notice that, to look at that and say, oh yeah, the world isn't so dark. Like, there's a lot of hope, there's a lot of good things that are happening.
Anders says the two brothers were given an offer from a major studio to buy the project and film it in Alabama, but the brothers thought it was important for them to film the movie in the Badger State. And Green and Gold was then released to theaters nationwide on January 31st.
So we wanted to see how the film resonated with Packer fans. Local 5's Paul Stino went to the movies to find out.
It's the movie best viewed wearing Packers gear.
Go, Pack, go!
That has fans chanting, go, Pack, go. 1 out of 5 stars, how many stars are you giving it?
I'm going to give it 5.
Joe Torres and his friends, among a crowd of 77 people, taking in the 1 o'clock showing of Green and Gold Friday afternoon at Marcus Green Bay East Cinema. Theater officials tell us 77 people is 3 to 4 times larger than the average audience they usually get for a weekday matinee.
Get a little teary-eyed, and we didn't have to blow anything up or kill anybody.
I know my wife, she had a little tear in her eye, and maybe I did too a little bit. It's a good movie, it's well done, and I think people will really enjoy it.
You know that no one cares about our little slice of nothing in the middle of nowhere.
I do.
The movie stars Craig T. Nelson, who plays Buck, a Door County farmer who bets on the Packers winning the Super Bowl to save his farm from foreclosure. Local 5 interviewed one of the film's stars, Madison Lawler, who plays Nelson's granddaughter in the movie.
I feel like this whole film is really a love story to Wisconsin.
The movie authentically Wisconsin, like the Packer gear-wearing Northeast Wisconsinites who came to see it on its first day in theaters. saying they appreciate that the movie captures the essence of what it means to be a Northeast Wisconsinite.
Great, wholesome movie. It's so nice to see a good, wholesome movie like we were discussing without all the special effects. And
Was totally blown away with how it ends. I'll leave it at that.
A film about family, farming, and football, making for a good day at the movies for Packers fans. In Green Bay, Paul Stino, Local 5 News.
And if you missed it, Green and Gold is still in theaters and will be available to rent or buy on April 15th.
Let's turn now to another Wisconsin sports team, the Milwaukee Bucks. They partnered with Make-A-Wish to fulfill the wishes for 4 kids. Back in January, each kid got to meet the Bucks general manager and signed one-day contracts with the team. The young Bucks then met with their teammates and coaches.
Are they taller than what you think?
They're way taller than what I see on TV and social media. Way taller, especially Brooke.
Later that night, the kids and their families went to the Bucks game against the Kings, where they were given another gift, a Bucks win.
And it wasn't just the Bucks getting in on the Positively Wisconsin action. The Milwaukee Brewers teamed up with Aurora Healthcare to make sure a few Brewers fans would be there to cheer on the crew during spring training. 3 young patients and their families were surprised with an VIP trip to Phoenix back in January, and the trip included meeting Brewers players, touring the clubhouse, and participating in warm-ups.
Having a lifelong illness and really daily struggles, being able to look past that, to be able to enjoy a good time with the Brewers, to be able to endure and still have fun with their friends. It's the bravery that really is admirable for these kids to carry them through the tough times.
And in February, Johnsonville's famous racing sausages and Bernie Brewer were there to see the families off. The 3 kids were there for the Brewers spring training opener on February 22nd, where they helped throw out t-shirts to the crowd.
Well, regardless of whether the Packers are there, the Super Bowl always feels like a special occasion.
After the break, how an annual Super Bowl celebration turned into a day of community service.
Welcome back to our first Positively Wisconsin special of 2025. As we all know, the Packers did not make it to the Super Bowl this January.
But that doesn't mean you couldn't use the occasion to do something positive.
Local 5's Samantha Petters takes us to the Super Bowl, full of family fun and community service.
Several area Oshkosh businesses came together for the 3rd annual Super Bowl food drive to celebrate Super Bowl Sunday and bring awareness to a need in their community.
There's a national push on Super Bowl Sunday to be able to provide shelf-stable foods for a lot of food pantries throughout the country. But this is our version of it, and being able to partner with some great folks to be able to come in and be able to donate those non-perishable food items. Doesn't necessarily have to be soup.
Jerschley Insurance is one of those partnerships that is helping with that mission.
We've gotten a lot of businesses on every single year. We try to get more and more businesses. But really, we started working with the Oshkosh Area Community Pantry about 3 years ago, stocking shelves, and then eventually wanted to try something as like a food drive, which then started at the beginning of January, goes until the day of the Super Bowl.
Amy Houle has attended the event every year, bringing her daughters to spare some time for fun and learn the importance of giving back.
The girls love to go bowling, and every year they get a little bit better, but it's fun. I mean, we can donate, we can receive by having free bowling, and we can give to a good cause.
And there was enough fun to keep everyone on a roll.
Bowl with the family for free. There are raffles going on, there's prizes, there's free food, some beverages, all that kind of fun stuff. Every year we get more and more people that like to come out for this event because it gives folks an opportunity to come do something before the Super Bowl actually happens, which is great.
In Oshkosh, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News.
Thank you, Samantha. Also in February, Give Big Green Bay had its annual fundraising campaign. And each year, nonprofits are chosen for a 24-hour-long fundraiser. These groups shape the community's quality of life and range from large, established institutions to small, volunteer-led groups.
Our community is a really generous place, and people care about one another. And one way that they can show that is by giving to nonprofits that are helping the people in need in our community.
If you donate $15, it helps us get vaccines for 3 cats. $25 is a gift that helps 5 dogs with heartworm disease.
We operate 2 facilities here in Green Bay. Our core community center has a lot of our social service programs where we operate a food pantry, a noon lunch program. We have some housing assistance programs, things like that.
This year's Give Big Green Bay campaign raised more than $3.5 million. A little more than 5,800 donors gave during this 24-hour fundraising blitz.
In another fundraiser, Hy-Vee and Ashwaubenon donated nearly $70,000 to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. The grocery store collected funds for about 20 months, asking customers to round up their purchases to the nearest dollar at checkout, supporting individuals facing food insecurity across the Midwest. Hy-Vee was able to donate 102 million meals to food banks across the Midwest. As you can see, there are many organizations helping others in Wisconsin.
Coming up, we're going to show you one family who found a way to give back without even leaving the house. Stay with us. Welcome back to our first Positively Wisconsin special of 2025. A Kaukauna business is making an effort to give back to the community.
Local 5's Samantha Petters shares the story of the woman behind the No Belly Hungry Fund.
Kaukauna Coffee and Tea introduced a new fund to support local students, and it all starts with a cup of joe.
Our theme for this year is going to be Community in a Cup, and our first event is called the No Belly Hungry Fund.
As a mother, Mamie understands students face many challenges at school, but food insecurity should not be one of them.
To have to do it wondering what they're going to have for lunch today, or how embarrassed are they going to be to have to sit at lunch and they maybe don't have something and their friends sitting next to them do. And that's a horrible feeling that no human being should have to experience, but let alone a child.
The idea is that when a customer goes to check out, they can choose to round up for the fund and provide for students in the Fox Valley.
At the end of each month, I choose a local area school and I will donate the money there, so we'll drop off a check to any child whose lunch funds are maybe just needing a little more love this time of year.
Customers who she considers family are also showing their love and support.
This is perfect.
It is. Welcome. It's gone beyond what I imagined, and we're very much a family as employees here, but our customers are as well. But it's been overwhelming. I have not had a business hesitate or say no.
And as she approaches her 3rd anniversary as owner, she says this is just her way of providing for her community, for her family. In Kaukauna, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News.
Thanks, Samantha. The initiative goes until the end of May when the school year ends, but Mamie plans to introduce a new one following the Community in a Cup theme.
And our final story is another project aimed at helping those in need here in our neighborhoods.
Local 5's Paul Stino introduces us to a family making a difference without even having to leave their front porch.
These days, there's no shortage of clothes to fold for Alyssa Queensberry, her mother Cherie, and their little helpers.
Kids love going through the bags and organizing sizes and getting it out to the porch and teaching them how to give back to the community at a young age.
You never know what you're going to find on the porch. Shoes, clothes, kids' games, and puzzles among the items there now. Queensberry says the more the merrier. Just be reasonable.
I did have somebody try to drop off some mattresses, so within reason that fits on a porch.
The front of Queensberry's home has transformed into what she's calling a community porch. It's a simple but impactful concept. People can come donate what they have and take what they need. So many donations have made their way to Queensberry's porch that her mom Cherie has also stepped up to help her out.
That there's good people around and trustworthy people that come together and work together to help other people out.
The porch open 24/7. Queensberry says there is no need to knock or ring the doorbell. She just wants people to take what they need or donate what they can.
And how does it make you feel knowing you're doing something to kind of give back to your community?
At the end of the day, I feel really great. Ultimately, I'm getting the reward of being able to help other people and my kids getting the life lessons out of it.
A lesson on the importance of helping others that she does not even need to leave her front porch to teach. In De Pere, Paul Stino, Local 5 News.
If you want to donate, you still can. Alyssa says a general rule of thumb is that if you wouldn't give it to a friend, it probably doesn't belong on the porch. She says to make sure items are in good condition when you donate them.
Well, thank you for joining us for our first Positively Wisconsin special of 2025.
We hope you enjoy seeing how many uplifting stories there are just packed in a few months.
Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Local 5 was proud to bring you this special presentation of Positively Wisconsin, presented by Renewal by Anderson. Thank you for watching.